First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT 22 News at 6 with Jennifer Copeland and John Paul.
Right now at 6, a blizzard warning issued for several local counties. This is a live look across our network of sky cams around the area, which will look much different by this time tomorrow.
And our Storm Alert weather team is tracking heavy snow, strong winds, and dangerous cold all on the way. We have team coverage for you here at 6 o'clock to get you ready for this major winter storm. Starting with meteorologist James Parrish of the Forecast Center tracking this wild weather. Jimmy.
Tomorrow at this time, we are going to be tracking some heavy snowfall across the area, and you will either be under a blizzard warning or a winter storm warning for tomorrow. The blizzard warning is in red. This includes Berrien and Cass County in southwest Michigan, LaPorte and St. Joseph County in northern Indiana. This is where I do expect 6 to 12 plus inches of snow. Wind gusts as high as 55 miles per hour. So once you combine the heavy snowfall with winds that strong, blowing and drifting snow will be a big problem. Still expecting very difficult, if not impossible, travel conditions across the winter storm warning. That does include the rest of the area. Within the counties shaded in pink, I do expect 4 to 8 plus inches of snow. Wind gusts as high as 45 miles per hour and near whiteout conditions. So traveling will be very difficult, if not impossible, across the entire region starting tomorrow evening, and that will continue through Friday night. No major travel impacts out there right now. Temperatures lower 30s, 32 in South Bend. Still dealing with plenty of clouds out there, but if you are going to be running some errands this evening, or if you're going to try to get out of town before that major winter storm, the weather looks nice this evening. Still tracking plenty of clouds, but not expecting much in the way of precipitation other than a few snow flurries. From a temperature standpoint, we will hang out near 30 degrees. We'll pinpoint those snowfall totals and talk about some dangerous wind chills in your full Storm Alert weather forecast.
All right, James, we'll see you then. Road crews right now at the ready for the storm to hit tomorrow.
That's right. In many places like Elkhart, crews have been treating those roads all day long. WSBT 22's Ann Lurie joins us live from Granger tonight. And Ann, Elkhart says it is staffed and ready to hit the streets.
Elkhart, as well as all local cities, INDOT and the Indiana Toll Road, they're all preparing. Elkhart says it has 1,000 tons of salt ready to go, and it's fully staffed to get it all on the roads. Crews plan to work day and night to do their best to keep the roads clear. The city plans to treat the main roads first and then hit the residential areas later. Mayor Rod Robertson says to just stay in if you can to make travel easier for those who can't.
It's important for us to be able to do that for emergency vehicles to be able to get through and for emergency uses for those of you in the public that need it. But it is extremely important that if you don't have to be out in this kind of weather, that you stay home.
I spoke with the Indiana Toll Road leaders today. As you'd expect, they're preparing for a lot of holiday travel. They are fully staffed for this storm, but they do have an important warning. With these really cold temperatures, the road salt doesn't work as well. So they'll not only be battling to keep the roads plowed, they'll be fighting the ice as well, which means drivers need to be especially careful. Live in Granger, Ann Lurie, WSBT 22 News.
Yeah, a lot to keep an eye on. Tonight, we are also hearing from emergency management officials on how you can stay safe in the upcoming blizzard and those winter storm warnings.
WSBT 22's Erica Finke's at the live desk with this one for us tonight. Erica, they're stressing that if possible, people should stay home, but there will still be warming shelters if needed.
In Elkhart and St. Joseph County emergency management directors have been in contact with power companies as well. And with the storm, outages could happen and they want people to be prepared. Without power in the house, use blankets and extra clothes, battery powered heaters and fireplaces to stay warm. Do not use your gas stove as a source of heat. And if you do have to go out, be prepared with extra clothes, a phone charger and charger and a shovel. And if you get stuck, make sure your tailpipe is clear of snow to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. While officials stress it's safest to stay home, there are community resources available to help if needed.
So our family plan recommendation is for you to visit family and friends, for you to go to the store and be prepared to stay home for 3 to 4 days. If you have an emergency, you call 911.
Our newsroom is working to get the latest information about warming shelters open to the public, and our website will continue to be updated as those details come in. At the live desk, I'm Erica Finke, WSBT 22 News.
And stay ahead of the coming winter storm anytime, anywhere with the WSBT 22 Storm Alert weather app. In fact, you should download it right now. It features our live radar, current alerts, warnings, and any closings as they come into the newsroom right in the palm of your hand. It's a free download right now in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store.
All right, new at 6, trying to get more Indiana high school graduates to choose college. That's the goal of a new movement by the Indiana Commission for Higher Education.
Statistics show that the more education a person has, the more money they will make. State leaders say that as fewer grads choose college, it could impact our state's economy. WSBT 22's Operation Education reporter Kristen Bean shows us what is being done at the high school level to help.
The latest state report on how many high school grads are going to college shows a major decline over the past 5 years. When the Indiana Commission for Higher Education studied why, they found 2 themes. People said college is too expensive and college isn't needed. Right now, high schools and colleges are working to make sure both students and adult learners are getting a new message. Elkhart senior Diana Silva Sparsa knows she's going to college.
For right now, I would like to see if I like political science, psychology, literature, and basically that, and business as well.
And when she does, she'll be the first person in her family to attend.
So I was part of Project Stepping Stone this past summer. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
It's that program that helped convince her. It helps high-achieving Latino students see how important a college degree can be for their future.
I really want to experience college life because I got the chance to live in dorms and talk with the members and the staff, and I was like, I really see myself in college. And because I aspire more into more of like learning more stuff, and I really like school.
In Indiana, Black and Hispanic students are less likely to go to college than their white peers. This comes as fewer Indiana students overall are choosing to go to college.
It's really about the fabric of what we call civil society.
The Indiana Commission on Higher Education is concerned because they say the state's current and future economic growth is related to how skilled the workforce is.
The reality is the wage differences alone between someone with a high school diploma and someone with a bachelor's degree and higher is 85% higher at the median. That's really stunning.
The problem is, in its research, the commission found high school students, parents, and adult learners don't think college is needed and that it's too expensive. While the cost of college in the U.S. has gone up over the past 10 years, the cost of Indiana's public colleges has remained relatively the same. And education leaders say there are opportunities in the state to make college more affordable.
Money is huge for families, and I think they hear on the news or through their social media the cost of college, and it freaks them out. And so they get all these ideas in their head then, and it's hard to try to bring them back to a reality check of, no, let's go through the steps first.
Michelle Tibbs is the early college counselor at Elkhart Community Schools. In Elkhart and many high schools across the state, students can earn early college credits that can save them money when they go to college. Elkhart is also a school where students can earn the Indiana College Core. That's a 30-hour block of credits that transfer among Indiana's public colleges. Both those programs can save students thousands of dollars on college costs.
Just what the early college program, my grads last year, from the time they started till they graduated, $270,000.
Tibbs has her hands full trying to help students see there are ways to afford college. But she says it's also up to colleges as well.
We do a really good job of trying to make this as affordable as we can.
St. Mary's College has seen an increase in Indiana high school graduates and an increase in students of color.
And especially students who are coming from first-generation backgrounds, they often just don't understand that. They just don't see college as an option for them. And I think part of what our job is in higher education and in admission offices throughout the country is to really say, you do have a place here, and to educate them on all the different ways in which they can make that a reality.
When Silva Sparsa graduates in May, she will already have college credits and a good idea of what's next for her future.
And also like open my mind more into like how college is going to be and how persistent I need to be.
School counselors said the pandemic has caused a lot of students to want to take a gap year after high school. But they say taking a year off to save money might actually hurt the financial aid those students could get. Students should talk to their guidance counselors to learn more about their options and how to save money on what they choose to do after high school. In the studio, Kristen Bean, WSBT 22 News.
That could change the future of energy. What a Notre Dame professor says about the potential breakthrough in nuclear fusion. When WSBT 22 News at 6 continues.
You're watching WSBT 22 News at 6.
Crews have started demolition on a Stark County building damaged in a fire this past summer. WKVI Radio shared these pictures of the work that's underway in downtown Knox. That fire on June 30th destroyed the Vorpal Gaming board game store. Now, the Downtown Depot restaurant and Birdie's Main Street Diner also had smoke and water damage because of it. It took crews 9 hours to put out that fire.
The University of Notre Dame weighing in on a recently announced nuclear fusion breakthrough. Current nuclear powers derive from splitting atoms. With fusion, 2 hydrogen atoms are pressed together so hard they turn into helium, which releases energy. Now, in theory, this could be a self-sustaining reaction. One Notre Dame physics professor told us this breakthrough could help create a future without the need for fossil fuels.
With climate, all of the burning of the fossil fuels obviously releases CO2, and I think we're still in a dire situation of having to do something about our climate change. The CO2 that's in the atmosphere is not going to go away.
Another benefit of fusion over fission is it virtually eliminates nuclear waste, but this is not something that's going to happen overnight. Experts say that it could still take decades until fusion can help power electric grids.
Today was our last quiet day before a major winter storm is set to impact Michiana. The high today in South Bend, 32 degrees. But believe it or not, we're tracking an Arctic blast with this heavy snow. We'll talk about how much snow will fall and how cold it's going to feel outside on Friday in your full Storm Alert weather forecast.
We've got a lot of news to cover. More than 200 million Americans in the path of a monster winter storm, how it could disrupt your holiday travel plans. Plus, Ukrainian President Zelensky meets with President Biden and addresses Congress. His message tonight to the United States. And banning cell phones in school. Why some educators think it's the key to taking pressure off students. That's tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Now, your Storm Alert forecast with meteorologist James Parrish.
A major winter storm will impact Michiana tomorrow night through at least Saturday morning. So let's jump into Futurecast and time the snow out. Here we are at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. By this time, there will only be a slight chance of rain and snow. The potential for any travel impacts tomorrow morning will be very low and minimal. Still not seeing much in the way of rain or snow through lunchtime tomorrow, as temperatures should warm above the freezing mark. By 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, that's when things will start to change and road conditions will start to deteriorate late tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow evening. By 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we could be tracking some widespread system snow across the area. And notice how temperatures out to our west are quickly dropping below freezing. So there will be the potential for a flash freeze. So any water on the roadways from the rain or melted snow could quickly turn to ice, and that ice could develop underneath the accumulating snow that we will see Thursday evening through Thursday night. By 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, I do expect traveling will be very difficult across the area, and it's going to be bitterly cold. Notice how temperatures are quickly dropping into the single digits, if not the teens. Still tracking widespread system snow across the area by 8. That system snow will continue into Friday morning, and Friday is going to be a very cold day. Some places could wake up to sub-zero temperatures along and south of Highway 30, while we're going to be tracking some lake effect snow throughout the entire day for parts of extreme northern Indiana and southwest Michigan. But even if you don't see any falling snow across some parts of northern Indiana Friday afternoon, blowing and drifting snow will still be a big problem, and that potential for lake effect snow will continue through much of the day on Saturday as well. So with parts of southwest Michigan and extreme northern Indiana seeing heavy system snow and lake effect snow Thursday through Saturday, this is where I do expect the heaviest snow from Benton Harbor to just south of South Bend, west towards Michigan City. This is where I do expect perhaps over a foot of snow will be possible from South Bend, Elkhart, Goshen into Plymouth, 8 to 12 inches of snow. Then I still do expect 4 to 8 inches of snow for our southern communities, talking about Knox, Winnemac, Rochester, and Warsaw. But I will say the heavy snow threat with this storm system is not the only part of the picture here. We're also going to be tracking some very strong winds. The strongest winds will arrive Thursday night through Friday. Expect west winds at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts could be as high as 55 miles per hour. This is going to cause some whiteout conditions with blowing and drifting snow. Some snow drifts could be measured with yardsticks as we head towards the weekend, and wind gusts over 50 miles per hour. They could do some tree damage as well as cause some power outages. And to top it all off, we're going to be tracking some bitterly cold conditions. Single-digit temperatures are expected on Friday, but those wind chills will be 15 to 30 degrees below zero Thursday night through Friday night, and sub-zero wind chills are still expected through the Christmas holiday weekend, and frostbite could develop on exposed skin in as little as 30 minutes Thursday night through Friday. Still have plenty of quiet weather to track this evening if you're going to be running some errands. In South Bend, 32 degrees, east to southeast wind at around 11 miles per hour. For tonight, my forecast low is 26 degrees. Tomorrow, temperatures will warm the low to middle 30s. Rain snow mix early on, turn to all snow Thursday night. Still tracking some snow on Friday, expecting blizzard-like conditions on Friday. For the weekend, lake effect snow still looking possible Saturday through Sunday. High temperatures near 10 degrees, but those wind chills will still be sub-zero.
National Signing Day includes a big surprise for Notre Dame. Pete lets us know why and gets Marcus Freeman's thoughts on a new crop of players coming up next.
This sports segment on WSBT 22 is sponsored by South Bend Orthopedics. Now, sports with Pete Byrne.
The Notre Dame football recruiting class was signed today, but not without a hiccup. Peyton Bowen, the highly sought-after safety from Texas, flipped his commitment from Notre Dame at the last minute, deciding instead to sign with Oregon. Nevertheless, it's still a class of 24 players for Notre Dame that's likely to be ranked pretty highly when it's all said and done. That group includes this kid, linebacker Drake Bowen of nearby Andrean High School. Bowen is the high school Butkus Award winner. Marcus Freeman spent a lot of time today discussing name, image, and likeness deals, which likely contributed to the last-minute loss of Bowen. But in the end, he chose to focus most on the guys he does have, which includes a top 300 player at every position.
Today is a day to celebrate because, again, you have to continue to make sure you get the right guys to this place. And that's what we did. You know, we got a great recruiting class, a great group of young men at multiple different positions that will continue to be the framework of what Notre Dame football is all about. And so we're excited about today, adding this group of 24 signees, and we look forward to preparing for this bowl game and getting those guys here before we know it.
Here's a snapshot of the Irish class. It includes 5 offensive linemen and 4 defensive linemen. They also address a huge area of need, adding 4 wide receivers, beefing up arguably the weakest position group. And half of this class of 24 will be enrolling at Notre Dame next month. I've got more on the class as a whole right now. You can see it at WSBT.com. Well, the Notre Dame women's basketball team wrapped up the first half of the season today with an afternoon game against Western Michigan. Niele Ivy's team looking to head into the holidays on a high note. They feasted on the inside early. Opening minutes, Notre Dame feeds Kylie Watson, who scores inside. Watson scored all 8 of her points in the first quarter. Today is Darren Mabry's birthday, and the seniors celebrated just like you'd expect from the three-point line. Irish led by as many as 16 in the first half, but the Broncos closed the second quarter with a little run. Taylor Williams scores at the buzzer. Notre Dame's lead was just 8 at the half, 38-30. Hey, there's former Irish and Marion High School standout Demetrius Jackson taking in the ball game today. He saw the Irish come out on fire in the second half. They throw the lob backdoor to Maddie Westbeld for the easy hoop. Then a few minutes later, Westbeld's going to come down and drain the three, part of a 17-0 Irish run to open up the third quarter. Westbeld finished the game with 23 points, and the outcome was never in doubt after that. In transition, it's Olivia Miles taking it coast to coast as Notre Dame runs away with an 85-57 win. So they head into the holidays very happy with a 10-1 record. We'll hear from Coach Niele Ivy tonight.
All right, we'll see you at 10-11. Yeah. Back in a moment.
Talking about the impact of this storm, it is really the culmination of everything. It is not just the snow, not just the wind, not just the cold. We have all of this at once.
Yeah, it's a lot. We're going to be tracking heavy snow, very strong winds. It's going to cause blowing and drifting snow. That's probably going to create the biggest travel headaches. I mean, travel at times on Friday will be nearly impossible, especially for places near the lake. Now, tomorrow at this time, we will either be under a blizzard warning or a winter storm warning. A storm like this is pretty rare. It only happens between 5 to 10 years, but it will not rival the blizzard of '78.
All right, thanks for joining us tonight at 6.
We're back at 10 and 11. Don't forget about us.